What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video, I'm gonna be covering 3 tips for how to create an amazing Airbnb listing so that your listing can absolutely crush it. You can get more bookings at higher revenue amounts so you can just be more successful with your short-term rental. So with all that said, if you are interested in learning more about how to invest in properties for Airbnb, how to manage other people's properties on Airbnb without buying, renting, furnishing anything, or if you want to just host your own space on Airbnb and want to learn more about how to do that effectively, check out the links in the description down below. We've got free trainings on all of that, whether you want to invest, you want to manage, or you want to host. We've got free trainings linked in the description down below for all that. Every single one of them is completely free, no catch. And every single one of them, we're going to give you free tools that are going to help you on your journey. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Hopefully it's valuable. If it is, make sure you hit the like button at some point during this video. Heck, you can even do it right now if you want to take just a smidge of a second, and you can just hit that like button. It really helps me out with growing this YouTube channel. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it and let's talk about the first best tip for getting and absolutely crushing it with your Airbnb listing, and that is your photos. Now, I recently listed a property on Airbnb that we had photography done at. I've talked about this before on the channel, but I actually recently listed one that I came up with some really great additional tips for on how to make the photography really shine and stand out. So here are a couple specific tips around photography that are gonna help you out. Number one, make sure you hire a really good photographer and make sure you give them a shot list. That should be a no-brainer, but just making sure that you hire a really great photographer who has some experience with Airbnbs, who you know does really great work. That's a big one. Don't try to do the photos yourself. Don't try to do them on your iPhone. Like, it really is. I spent $700 on the most recent property just getting it photographed. It is well worth it, let me tell you, to get a professional photographer in there. You can do it for anywhere from $150 up to $1,000, depending on the property, depending on the location, everything else. But do hire a professional photographer and make sure that they have some experience with Airbnbs. Now, the other thing you can do is post-production. A lot of people, myself included, oftentimes forget about the value of editing those photos. You can do things like add a blue sky to the exterior photos if the photos happen to be taken on kind of an overcast day. You can convert them to twilight to give guests an idea of what it'll be like at night, or you can add fire to the fire pit after so you can help guests to envision themselves there. You can also, if ever you do make the mistake, this was a silly one. Our team made the mistake of leaving a red pamphlet on one of the chairs in our space. The photographer came by. They didn't think to move it. That's fine, whatever. But then, hey, we've got these weird red pamphlet on the chair in a bunch of the photos. So you can actually hire someone. I hired someone on Fiverr to go in, do some Photoshop magic, and just get rid of the red pamphlet. Doing things like that can really make up for any small little mistakes that your photographer or your team might make, or you might make when staging your place for photography. So if ever that happens, rest assured that you don't need to go and reshoot the whole property. You can just do some touch-up work in Photoshop. Brightening the photos up, adding a really nice blue sky is another really great tip. And for me, one of the things I'm experimenting with on this most recent listing that I'll keep you guys updated on the results of is a cover photo that features a few different photos from the space, because recently Airbnb has changed up their user interface so that now the title of your listing is much smaller than it was before, and it grabs a lot less attention. And so for this property, it has a geodesic dome in the back, it's got a hot tub, a sauna, a game room, a movie theater. And so I really wanted to highlight all these amazing amenities that it has, and I wanted to take the opportunity with that cover photo to showcase a few of them. So I'm experimenting with editing a photo together with a few different shots of those different rooms and a bit of text to caption it. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes as well. Now, the next tip that I have for you on how to make a really killer Airbnb listing is to take some time to put yourself in the shoes of the ideal guest that's going to be booking your property. So I have a few different tools that we use in our trainings whenever I'm working with people that we use to help map out your ideal guest, that your kind of avatar ideal guest, and map out who they are, where they live, why are they traveling, all these different things. And I still to this day will complete that document and some of the other documents that I have that I've built for my students but I'll still go back and do those myself anytime that I create a new listing, because I just find it so helpful when you're trying to figure out the perfect headline or the perfect way to structure your listing description, or just the perfect way to position your listing overall, by just understanding who it is that's actually going to be booking this property and what matters to them. Is it more about the relaxation? Is it more about the adventure? Is it more about the space, the coziness, the spaciousness? What is it that you really want to highlight? So that's a big one. Make sure that you take the time to really put yourself into that ideal guest shoes and craft your listing accordingly. Now, the third and final tip that I have for you guys on how to make a really awesome Airbnb listing is to just fill the listing out entirely. I see people make this mistake all the time where they just won't. They'll have, for example, they'll put something in the listing description box, which has a limited number of characters to it. And it's quite a small limit. I think it's around 500. But then there's another section where you can put, and it's called the space. It's just a section for the space. And you can put way more details about the specific amenities that your property has, all these different details. And you've got a really large amount of text allowance to put in there, because it's in a drop down where someone actually has to click it to see more. So they're not too worried about limiting the number of characters in that box. Use that box, communicate all the different amenities, answer your guest questions for them before they have to inquire to book with you. The photo captions, I see so many people not putting captions on their photos. I put a caption on every single photo to highlight it, to sell the place more, and to just note any notable features on the property. Like if it's got Netflix, have Netflix pulled up on the TV screen and then put it in the caption to mention as well. In your kitchen, put in a caption underneath the photo that lists off the different amenities, and ideally have close-ups of some of those amenities as well. Also, in the amenities section on Airbnb, make sure you check every single box that's applicable. In the room section on Airbnb, you can actually go and specify which photos are of which rooms so that people can see, okay, oh, this is bedroom 1, this is bedroom 2, this is bedroom 3, so on and so forth. So really take the time to fully complete your listing, flesh it all out. Don't just take it halfway to the finish line, because when you do that, it's just going to help boost your listing even more, get more conversions. It's one of those things that you do once. It maybe takes an extra 30 to 45 minutes to do it really, really well. And then you never have to do it again, and you get dividends being paid to you every single day that your listing is live, because you took the time initially to really fill it out effectively. So those are my top 3 tips for creating an awesome killer listing on Airbnb. If you have any other tips, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have questions for me, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said before, if you're interested in learning more about how to invest successfully in Airbnbs and actually buy vacation rentals and use them as short-term rental properties, there's a link in the description down below for that. Also, if you're interested in managing other people's properties and getting started without any money and not having to buy or rent any properties, furnish them, anything like that, just manage for other people and earn a full-time income doing that. Or if you just have a space, whether that's a vacation home you already own, or a spare bedroom, or a pull-out couch in your living room, and you just want to host it really effectively on Airbnb, make sure you check out the links in the description down below for those free trainings. They're all completely free. They're all going to come jam-packed with tons of value, as well as some additional tools that will help you to succeed. So all that being said, make sure you hit the like button if you got value from this video, or if you're going to use any of these tips, just take a quick second, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the 2 new videos we post every single week. And make sure you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.